I deployed in Iraq and Kuwait. After 19 years of devotion to the military, I am treated like crap. Okay, you get the point. I'm treated like crap and I suffer every day and no one cares. Military doctors have their hands tied and I still suffer. I became a supporter of outright medical marijuana when last July my pain pills were cut off. Not because I was abusing them, but because the military is doing it to everyone. We suffer in silence. In my 46 years, I'm a well-educated person with a high-level Department of Defense and Army job, yet because of new policy against hydro, I am forced to suffer. And I was on the least amount of hydro I was on because I was scared of it. But because of the new Army policies, that doesn't matter. My stellar career doesn't matter, just policies. So that's one little snapshot. I figured that would put a little bit of a face and a story to why we're here today. We're here for many other reasons too, but the thing is, these are people. Everybody's just trying to do the best they can to get, help everybody out. So I'm going to introduce the president of TN NORML, Dope Pat.
Thank you for coming out today. Reverend Edwin Sanders was not able to be with us today. He had a conflict. Hopefully we'll get him back soon. Excited to have, though, today a true Nashville hero. A lot of people in the community know him for his past work. Actively involved in the Nashville sit-in movement, involved with the Freedom Riders, and I asked him, he knows what we're doing here today. I'm sorry, and I'd like for him to come forward and just tell us a little bit about what his thoughts are. And this is Mr. Leo Lillard.
Say good afternoon. Beautiful day to be involved in the fight for justice. I want to recognize Donald Richardson, who got me here. I helped raise Donald from he was about 6 years old. It's good to see the seeds sprouting up in his personality, where he's able to create bridges between different factions of our town. Our town does not like these kind of things that happen. Our state does not like these kind of things that happen. Basically, sometimes our nation doesn't like these things that happen. But I'm glad to be here. Let me give you a few little words. My favorite quote is from Martin King. And it says, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So what you're doing is you're building bridges to the folks who need justice. My table that I was sitting at drinking coffee was ironic that I sat with Kathy, Jeff, and Philip. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think all our lives are guided. I just happened to pick that table and sit with people who have MS who need you all and us to win this fight in this city. So let's give it up for Kathy, Jeff, and Philip. Come on. Because there are a lot of Kathy, Jeff, and Phillips in this city, in this nation, in this state. They're depending on us to win this battle. So we're going to win it. One of the things we did in the Civil Rights Movement, I'll do a few minutes on that, is we chanted. We chanted because when you're a 17-year-old, 5'10" kid looking at a 6-foot big white cop in the club with a greyhound dog, like, you want to chant for your own, confidence. So let's do a little chant, and this is a good one. It just says, the people united can never be defeated. Try that. The energy here, this is a good day. Let's go. The people united can never be defeated.
Can never be defeated.
The people united can never be defeated.
Can never be defeated.
That's one of the chants we do all the time. In fact, we're going to do that chant on the 20th, Monday, at Martin Luther King holiday. You're welcome to come and walk with us from a church in East Nashville. It's called First Baptist Main Street Church, right near the engineering firm right across from the car wash. Right? Just as you pass into East Nashville Main Street on the left side, we leave at 8 o'clock and we walk 1 hour and a half, 4.2 miles. Those who are energetic want to walk, take your car. But it's wonderful to see kids from all over Nashville, all ethnic groups come and celebrate the birth of a person who really gave his life for what you're trying to do right now. It's important to be out on King Day doing something. Not celebrating the death of a man, but celebrating his beliefs. And that's what it's about. So you're welcome to come Monday the 20th, Main Street, First Baptist Church, 8 o'clock, and walk with us all the way to TSU, where the convention happens every year. Now, what does it take to maintain this program? What does it take? Well, it takes Sunday afternoon events like this. But it also takes you talking to a lot of folks who may not be committed as you are. The one thing you learn as an activist is everybody is not going to be on the front line. There were only about 300 students in Nashville actively on the front line for the sit-ins, and we got beat up and spat on and hot coffee poured on us. But behind us, there was our professors on the campus. They said, okay now, go and demonstrate, come back, get your homework. But without them saying that, we would have flunked out. We had flunked out, we couldn't continue the movement because our parents would snatch our ass out of college. So you need people at all levels to do something. Not as active as you are, let's say here, but try to build that second tier of people who support this concept. Maybe call in on some talk shows, and don't give your name, you're scared. But try and get people to think away from this Christian dogma of how horrible it is to be high, and as they call it, put the stigma high in context with relief. Rephrase the narrative. You've got to do that. Find creative ways to market what you're doing away from people who are not quote activists, who don't have never touched a marijuana cigarette. They are still your constituents. They are the people we got to convince. This is important. When you look at the death toll from alcohol, from teenagers getting killed every single weekend from alcohol, I've never heard of a movement to end alcohol. In fact, they want to put alcohol in grocery stores. Right? So how do you, not that you want to attack them on that, but let's put all this in context. Maybe that's the way you sell this idea of legalizing marijuana. You got to have a series of ways to convince folks that what you're doing makes sense for everybody, and that there are no bad guys, there ain't no good guys. The song says, it's me and you, we just disagree. Okay? So it's important to understand how you sell that. It wasn't easy for us to sell to white Christians that we have students have a right to go downtown, sit in at a restaurant, close it up, make the man lose business, and not be demons. We had to convince the white Christians that it's not us that's closing the restaurant up. We just come to sit down. But they didn't see it that way. They saw us as communist, Negro-loving white folks. That's what they call the students. White students who work this. They had to sacrifice. That was a tough call for them. They're in college. They're out of town. Parents somewhere in Michigan. Their kids on TV getting busted and beat up. We had to convince their parents it's okay. We know you send them here to Michigan, to Vanderbilt, to Fisk, but their job is to save our nation. And sometimes it's a hard sell, because it gets very personal. That's my child. I'm paying the money to go for him or her to go to school. Why is he down there involved with you communists? So it's a concept of stereotyping us as activists, you as activists, you as evildoers, snatching my child and giving him all that evil stuff in his head, her head. So it's important how you sell what you're doing. And it wasn't easy for us. What we do right now sometimes is we'll do a simulated sit-in. We'll go to church or college, and we'll let students from the audience become us. They'll be at the table. We'll have fake food, confetti, like it's coffee and grits. And we'll say, this is what we did. And then we, activists, we become the clan. We become Bubba. We know how to do Bubba really good. So when they get through with that, they understand, how'd you pick that? How'd you let somebody pull your hair? How'd you let somebody pour coffee on you? Why didn't you fight back? Because it wasn't her people who were fighting back. It was ignorance, it was hate. And so make sure you identify the enemy. In the military, they call it target acquisition. Make sure you target the people you want to target and the things you want to target, and don't do a broad sweep, shotgun approach to what you want to do here. We knew we would win. And we're 19-year-old kids facing 300 years of hatred in Tennessee, including the Chamber of Commerce, the store owners, the good old lawyers, the police. But it was ignorance that they were all diseased with. And all we had to do was find a cure for that. And what you had to do is find a cure for the people who are frightened of marijuana, especially the court system that penalizes black kids and makes this huge prison industry possible. So they've got a reason not to want to legalize marijuana. Just think of all the judges, the bail bondsmen. There are a lot of folks who are depending on you not winning because they're getting good salaries off of illegalizing marijuana and putting black kids in prison. And their families are suffering from a kid who's 16 years old and got a problem and wants to smoke. Because that kid knows the risk, somebody turning him in, sometimes their parents turn him in, their friends turn him in, and the police will love to find anything in their cars. Somebody has to teach them how not to let the police do that unless they got a reason to search that car. That's another huge set of allies you can get. Maybe you could produce little cards you can hand out to all the teenagers. The legal things that they have, their rights when they stop by the police for a broken tail light. Those are the kind of audiences, that's the kind of marketing you gotta do to create a bigger swell. So this group has a different hue. Right now this group is very, very white. So you gotta figure a way to increase the number of color of all ethnic groups, a lot of ethnic groups. If this was in California now, you know it would be an entirely different color group in here. So we've got to learn how to open the doors up. And thanks to Donald and the leaders here, I'm here. Again, I've been around for 53 years. We do a big festival in Nashville called the African Street Festival. I'd love to have you all come have a booth, all right? In September, 45,000 people come to it. You got to have something to pass out. Put it in their hands and they leave with that. So follow-up avenues for them to reconnect with you, to re-plug into you, what you're doing here, okay? That's what we can do for you. I can answer questions, but make sure you put it on your calendar for Monday. Get out the house, walk in the King Parade, get to know people, and talk to them folks. A lot of potential people. Of course, it's very churchy-oriented, because MLK was churchy, but that doesn't mean we cannot make allies out of them. That doesn't mean you can't at least let them write petitions for you when it's time to push the bill. That doesn't mean you can't get some of the black politicians tongue-in-cheek to say, yes, it's time to legalize. Okay? And then I say at a press conference, or that there's some of the parishioners get picked up, they're definitely going to want to go and get them out of prison. If they've got something to use to convince that judge that they got from you, then that creates a bridge between them and you. So there's a lot of folks out there that walk away. You got to get out your comfort zone, and one way to do that is Monday the 20th of January, MLK Day. Let's do that one more time so it's a little more energy. Say it with me, okay? The people united can never be defeated. The people united can never be defeated. The people united can never be defeated. Thank you.